Well, gang, welcome back to Late Night Conspiracies, everybody. Let's jump right into it because yes, you're gonna get some tonight. We're gonna get deeper into this one. You might want to clench your butt cheeks tonight, guys, because we're talking about the Bible prophecies, we're talking about the Antichrist, we're talking about UFOs, we're talking about JFK, we're talking about the homie Trump. The homie Trump was talking about the aliens. We're gonna be getting to that, and we got a bunch of these Joe Rogan conspiracies as well to get into. If you're new here, you do not have to like the video, you do not have to subscribe, none of that. Let's just roll it right now. Roll it.
How long before we're a cashless society?
This is where I get scared because it's too similar to the mark of the beast. It's too similar to exactly what it says. You won't be able to trade, you won't be able to do anything unless you have the mark.
Many American businesses have already gone cashless as well. They'll pretend it's all about convenience, but really, you know, it's all about control.
The emergence of a system for comprehensive control that's so complete that we can barely imagine it.
It's already been introduced in China, for instance, and some states in the US as well. Biometric digital ID.
Countries like India, Estonia, Korea, there's a long list, have taken national steps to provide citizens who wish with a secure form of digital identification that can be presented online. A secure digital
And surely, like, Neuralink is coming out too, right? Would you get the Neuralink? Let me know in the comments.
ID biometrically synced to your smartphone.
We're headed toward a one world global government with one massive, monstrous leader.
How's the mark of the beast?
And that is, you know, part of Project Blue Balls as well. Or Project Bluebeam, my bad. But yeah, people call it Project Blue Balls because, you know, why not? Why not?
Described in the Bible. We should read it. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It deceives those who dwell on earth. It also causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
A lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake. We need a single global order.
But yeah, one world government, that is part of the Project Blue Balls. Pause, but unpause. That's part of it. That's part of it. That's what we heard years and years ago. That's what we heard decades and decades ago. Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy, but...
How do we do it?
I now hope I'm about to pay for my groceries with my...
Oh, is she excited, huh?
Don't worry.
Did it work? I think it did. Yeah, she definitely is excited. Uh-oh.
That's the coolest thing ever.
So it's a...
Crazy, man. Oh, man. Holy smokers, it ain't no dang jokers. Okay, check this one out. How to reach psychedelic states without drugs. Joe Rogan. Roll it.
You do.
So, I mean, the basic steps of mindfulness meditation are to sit. Most people close their eyes. You bring your full attention to the feeling of your breath.
So what do you do?
So, I mean, the basic steps of mindfulness meditation are to sit. Most people close their eyes. You bring your full attention to the feeling of your breath. You're not thinking about your breath. You're just feeling the raw data of the physical sensations. And then the third step is
like
the
meditation?
biggie, which is as soon as you try to do this, your mind's going to go bonkers. You're going to start thinking about, you know, what's for lunch, do I need a haircut, where do gerbils run wild, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're just going to notice.
Kind of like meditation or self-hypnosis, right? Recently, I came across the self-hypnosis rabbit hole as well. Kind of cool, actually. Kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Oh, my mind's going crazy right now. But that noticing is the key moment, is in fact the victory. It's interesting because this is when most people think they've failed. I can't meditate because I can't clear my mind. This is the biggest misconception about meditation. You do not need to clear your mind. That's impossible unless you're enlightened or dead. The whole goal is just to notice when you become distracted and start again. You return your attention to your breath. And you just do that a million times. And every time you catch yourself wondering and go back to your breath, it's a bicep curl for your brain. It changes your brain. And that over time creates the kind of metacognition.
A similar thing happens in the tank. I do a form of meditation in the tank sometimes when I go in there without an idea, like if I'm not working on material or anything else, where I just concentrate on my breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and I just literally concentrate on the breath, and the same thing happens.
That's meditation.
Well, yeah.
That's meditation.
Yeah.
It's not similar, it's the exact same thing.
The difference is in the tank, after a while, after about 20 minutes or so, that breaks loose to psychedelic states.
Wow.
Have you ever combined the tank with psychedelics?
Yes.
Altered state stuff?
Yeah. It's trippy.
What LSD or
mushrooms? Mushrooms. But the big one is edible pot. Edible pot seems to be as strong as anything in there.
Huh.
DMT, man. I'll be waiting, bro. I'll be waiting. When will he say DMT? Joe DMT Rogan. And the craziest thing is that DMT is now illegal, right? Oh shit! It was legal, but then they made it illegal. Crazy. Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasa? Don't know, man. Don't know. I never done DMT. Any of you have done DMT? If so, yeah, feel free to put it in the comments, because I heard these stories, right? People doing DMT and all of a sudden they're enlightened. All of a sudden they do start to believe that we're not alone, and also that this life cannot be it. There's definitely something after this life. But the real question is, I've never done DMT, right? But the real question is that based off of all of these stories, and this is one of those questions that people generally ask too, okay, you take DMT, and then you're someplace else. Are you someplace else as in your soul is going someplace else? Or is it just that your brain is, let's just say in simple English, playing videos in your mind? Bruh. I know sounds kind of funny, but you know what I mean. Is it like a dream kind of thing? Because yeah, of course, when you're dreaming, you're sleeping, you're here, right? But of course, like, I don't want to get down to dreams, because you know, there's also like a whole lot of theories with dreams too, that your soul leaves and goes somewhere else. Perhaps it does, perhaps not, perhaps it's all in your mind, perhaps not. So it's like one of those things, right? With DMT, do you, of course, you do not go anywhere physically, your physical body's there, you do DMT, but is it that your brain is playing that, or your soul, part of your soul, or your entire soul goes in another dimension? Do you unlock another dimension? And DMT, we do produce it naturally. Oh, shit. Yeah, we do produce DMT naturally in our brains. There are a whole lot of drugs, natural drugs, psychedelics, that we were capable of producing in our mind. Yeah, so DMT is a real thing. It's in our minds too, but it's interesting, right? And it's the age-old question: do we go somewhere, or is it our mind? Is it our mind playing that? Either way, crazy.
Like I eat enough pot where I'm convinced I'm gonna die, and then I climb in there, and every time I do it, I go, don't do that again. So because I just get out so terrified.
What's your motivation when you're eating the pot and climbing into the tank?
So let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, just be scared, be terrified.
Really?
Yeah, because nothing ever happens. You never die. But god damn, you're just convinced that the universe is imploding around you, and because what you're trying to do when you're just sitting down and concentrating and relaxing is you're trying to focus on your thoughts, but you're still aware of your body. You're still aware of your elbows touching this desk, your butt touching the chair. There's all these different factors that are there's stimuli that's coming into your senses. Whereas in the tank, there's none of that, virtually. It's almost completely eliminated. There's some, but you can phase that stuff out. Like, you could still feel the water a little bit if you think about it. You could still, sometimes you bump into the wall and you have to like center yourself, and you have to like relax again and make sure you're not moving so you don't touch things, which can kind of dissolve the experience.
There are experiences in meditation where you have that same experience where you lose your sense of the body, but that usually comes with more concentration. You have to be very concentrated on it.
I feel like you would have that experience, and it would be even more intense if you did the exact same thing that you do outside the tank in the tank. I don't think you need any psychedelics in the tank. No. It's one thing that I tell people when they ask me, should I get high before I do it? I'm like, no, just do it. Just do it. If you decide after a while, if you've done it 3 or 4 times, you're like, I wonder what it's like if I just take a little bit of a hit of pot and see where it takes me. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to hurt you. And if you're the type of person who enjoys marijuana or whatever. But the tank alone, by itself, just the absence of sensory input, your brain goes to a very, very different place. And as long as you can relax, as long as you don't think too much about the fact that you're in the tank, just concentrate entirely on your thoughts, entirely on your breath. And again, let all those crazy, like, where do hamsters live, like all that shit. Let all that stuff run wild through your mouth. But I feel like in the tank, at least, that gets to a certain spot and then it stops existing. And then the psychedelic state takes over.
Ooh. Yeah, right. Okay, I want to get down to this one here. Now, this is a little old for sure, but crazy that this happened before GTA 6. And by the time I'm making this video, GTA 6 is still not out, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this crazy that this happened. All of this happened before GTA 6. Joe Rogan gets Donald Trump, to discuss JFK files and UFO disclosure. I remember seeing it, but don't remember much of it. And it's interesting, right? Because, of course, the UFO drones, we heard about the New Jersey UFO drones, and I got something else right after, too. So Relax, you're gonna get some tonight. Pause, but unpause. You're gonna get some tonight, guys. But here's the thing, right? So New Jersey drone situation happened. People were like, hey, aliens, UFOs, okay, drones only, or perhaps our drones mixed in with some real UFOs, or whistleblowers also did say that it was the drones are basically ours, but reverse engineered tech based off of the aliens UFO. Essentially, we're not alone, but that's what it is. And then it's like the US government, or Trump administration rather, came out and they said, yeah, it's drones, but for research purposes. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And that's it. That's what they said. That's all she wrote. And we do not know for what exactly. What kind of research are we talking about, right? And that got a lot of people sus, and a lot of people are not buying into, yeah, it's just drones for research purposes, right? People are not buying that. So that happened, and then nothing. So let's actually get down to this one here. Let's see what the homie Trump said in this one when this first happened. Roll it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
One of the things that I want to talk to you about is the JFK files.
Wait for it.
One of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed...
a quick little context. So this, it's being said that JFK was assassinated because, allegedly, he was assassinated because he was looking to do a UFO alien disclosure. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's what it's being said. Is it true? Is it not? I don't know, but that's what it's being said. All right, roll it.
Me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either. What they... And one of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either.
Damn. UFOs? Perhaps?
So, aliens? I opened them up, partially. I was met with, from good people, good people. People that were well-meaning. Mike Pompeo was one of them. He's a good person. They called me. They said, sir, would rather have you not. And I did open them. But I was asked by some people not to open them. There's a Martin Luther King file, too, by the way, that they'd like to see. I don't know if you know.
I believe they revealed it, no? Could be wrong.
But JFK in particular. So they called me. A lot of good people called me. People that that you would find reasonable people. And they asked me not to do it, so I said, well, we'll close it for another time. But if I win, I'm going to open them up. I'm just going to open enough.
Why didn't you open it up the first time, though?
Because a lot of times...
What was the hesitation, though?
Addresses, people that are still living. There are people that are affected. And there could be some national security reason that that I don't have to necessarily know about. But some very good, talented people asked me not to do it. I opened it up, and then they said, would it be possible for us to do that a different day?
How much of it did you read into?
Bruh.
I think it's going to be just fine to open it. Let me put it that way. I think it's fine. It's going to be time. It's a cleansing. It's really a cleansing. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it immediately, almost immediately upon entering office.
Well, the thing, when people look at it from the outside and you sort of imagine what could be a reason why they would not release those files, it would be there's people that were implicated in the assassination.
Yeah. Well, when there are living people, you generally tend not to want to do it. When people are still living.
Living people that formerly work for the government.
For the government, and living people that were somehow involved in it, and you tend not to do that. But it's time to open them. I can't tell you whether or not they're going to find anything of interest. And I did partially open. I think I've opened 50%, but I was asked not to do it, and I thought that was a reasonable ask. But now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it very soon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interest in it.
One of the things that
There's a lot of interest in the people coming from space,
Yes.
And I know you're interested in that.
Oh, I'm very interested in that. How much did they tell you about that?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What'd they tell you? How much can you tell?
So
how's that work? Is it like super top secret?
I can tell,
Tell me.
Well, based on Hunter Biden, I can say whatever the hell I want, right? But I interviewed a few people. It's never been my thing, I have to be honest. I have never been a believer. I have people that Area 51 or whatever it is, I think it's the #1 tourist attraction in the whole country or something.
Damn.
Area 51 in Las Vegas. Do you know that, right?
Sure, I know what it is.
So anyway, but it's a big tourist thing. So I interviewed jet pilots that say they saw something. if you saw them, you'd love to have them as
I've
your
had a
son.
couple in here. Commander David Fravor.
Yeah.
I had him in, who had that sighting in 2004. Very, very compelling with video evidence, radar evidence. Ryan Graves.
I don't believe his name, but I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. I mean, great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. It was something. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, you know. And it was round, which is, in theory, a great shape.
So when you were talking to these people, was this something that you were compelled to have conversations about? Was this your personal interest?
A little bit. It's not a great interest for me, but it's a little interest. I get that question as much as almost any question. Do you think that we have aliens coming, flying around or whatever?
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life, because
Mars, we've had probes there and rovers, and I don't think there's any life there.
Well, maybe it's life that we don't know, but maybe
there was life there at one point in time. This is a speculation about Mars, that Mars had an atmosphere at one point in time, a long time ago, that could support life. It also had large bodies of water, but we've had no evidence of even bacterial life that exists on Mars. But the
it's
universe
not
is
been a
pretty
big
vast.
thing for me. I mean, when I looked at what China did to this, they would have never done it with me, where they put the balloon up, and a lot of people thought, thought for a little while that was one of these things. So,
Well, that's a lot of the speculation too. That some of these drones that hover over battleships, that these are Chinese drones, and that they're not UFOs.
They could be also.
There's some super sophisticated.
But I did interview, let's say 3 or 4 guys that, and without tremendous interest, if you had them, as I said, you'd love to have them as your children. Solid, beautiful people. They said, sir, there's something there.
There's something there. Yeah, I've talked to quite a few of them.
They're not conspiracy guys.
Well, I mean, just the Commander David Fravor thing in 2004 off the coast of San Diego, they clocked that thing going from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in a second. They don't know what it is.
That's tough to beat.
Yeah, they saw something in the water. It was hovering over that something that was making a disturbance in the water. They got video evidence of this thing. 2 different fighter jets with pilots in them saw it. There's, visual evidence, photographic evidence, video evidence, radar evidence, whatever the hell it is. It moves in a way that would turn a human being into jello if you're inside of it. The G-force, no one would survive.
Oh,
so what is that?
100%.
And it doesn't have a heat signature. They don't know what their propulsion system was. But
when you fly in some of these jets, these pilots have to be in great shape.
Oh yeah, I flew with the Blue Angels once.
Yeah,
I got to fly. I guess
and
it's
those
an
are
FA-18.
older, and those are older machines.
And they're crazy.
When you fly in some of these things,
oh my
it's
God,
amazing. Yeah, but
I can imagine.
You got to be special.
Yeah. Do you guys think he knows? Let me actually show you this. Do you think the homie Trump knows? Of course he knows, right? Do you think he knows? Do you think he knows, or he knows but don't want to say? But yeah, he don't seem too interested to reveal it. Perhaps he's seen it all and it's not a whole lot interesting to him, let's just say, or he's seen it all and it's big and he don't think the people would be ready. What you guys think? Or you think it's nothing? It's a nothing burger, so it's like, yeah, who why should we even care? Is it that, or is it some deeper than that? Check this one out. So, is Satan real? Joe Rogan opens up about God and Satan. Roll it.
That's always the worry that people have about the elites. Like, what are they doing? Like the skull and bones, and what kind of fucking rituals? What kind of Bohemian
freak
Grove?
Ass shit are they doing?
What freak shit are you doing?
Yeah. Bohemian Grove was crazy. I believe Tyler Oliveira also broke into and made a vlog video, right? Not long ago. That was crazy. If you know, you know, right? Crazy.
And getting away with.
Yeah, when you're on a $500 million yacht every weekend and you're just fucking balling all over the world, hanging out with your other balling all over the world buddies, doing freak shit.
Yep.
Staying in the club together.
Mm-hmm.
Hunting people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Freaky.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Freaky.
background. Small South Appalachian Baptist Church. My dad's a deacon at the church.
Stop rolling those fat doobies, guys. It's not the time.
My sister is married somebody who's a pastor, and she moved to France, Montpellier, and she's a missionary there. So all the basic Christian education, I got it.
But no one has had conversations with the devil, right?
No, not really.
No, but people, I bet you've talked to people that said God has talked to them.
I don't know. My dad would never say God talked with me directly. Said, you know, he reads the Bible.
It's not an uncommon thing, though, right?
No, but my background or the church I grew up in and my mom and dad are pretty strict. Like Pastor Walter growing up, that guy was.
But how do you know, like, it's your voice or God's voice in your... Because, but that's the crazy thing, right? I wanted to go in different direction. I don't want to go, but I guess this is a thought that just came up in my mind too. Yeah, you also hear this, that some people don't even have inner voice. Any of you watching this video, do you have inner voice? Inner voice essentially means like you don't say it verbally, but your mind is speaking in your brain, or you're getting those thoughts, and then, yeah, you have that inner dialogue, right? Some people say they don't have it. Yeah, that's crazy. And some people say if you don't have it, you're an NPC. You're an NPC. I don't think you're an NPC, but it's fascinating that some do and some don't.
A logger. You know, this was a small little town.
That's a cool story.
And he had, I'm not kidding, he had a scar from here down through his jaw to here. A chainsaw jumped back and went, cut him right through the face. That's a man. That's a manly man right there.
It's like a Ted the Atlas scar.
Took himself to the hospital with a towel on the side, or a shirt on the side of his face.
Of course he did.
Yes, he did.
Probably would have fucking stapled it shut if he had a stapler in the car.
And he was the nicest, pleasant, like, hi, good afternoon.
Yeah,
you know, he wasn't
seen
like
some shit.
Oh my goodness!
He doesn't have to convince you.
So everything, it was real simple. Here's a good book. Read it. If it says yes, do it. If it says no, don't. That's all. There's no pomp and circumstance. There's no robes. There's no, real simple, real straightforward. But my dad would be interested, and he'll be listening to this. So he would be interested in your thing if the end times doesn't come, and Satan can say, hey, guess what I can do?
But here's the thought:
would somebody take that?
If Satan really was clever.
Oh, if he's real, he is the prince and power of the air. He is the great deceiver. He's very clever.
Right, but if Satan is a real thing, what a genius thing to make it ridiculous to believe in him. What a genius thing to make it so that even saying you've communicated with Satan, or saying
you sound like a loon.
You sound like a loon. Like
because
we were just talking about this the other night. I said that if the president said God is with our troops, we would say awesome. But if the president said we've located the devil, he's in Afghanistan, and we're beginning bombing,
he'd be
like, what the fuck did you just say?
And you're right about genius, because if you're ridiculed or look like a loon for believing in Satan, then by default you're a loon for believing in God. So he's done his job.
Good cannot exist without the evil, and evil cannot exist without the good, though. You know, it's a yin and a yang. Everything is in pairs when you think about it. You know, male, female pairs. It's crazy that even trees have male and female in them. I recently came across like one of those studies, right? Like, I was mind blown. Yeah, everything is in pairs. It's insane. It really is insane, man. So good cannot exist without evil, because how would you even? Because if everything was good, then you would have that baseline of good. So you don't have any reference to anything bad. So when you don't have any reference to anything bad, how do you know it's good, or how do you know when it's gonna be good? Because if everything is good, you don't have any reference to, if that makes sense.
Job by negating everything.
Well, sort of.
Well, to
because
a point,
a lot of people that believe in God,
they're both in the same book.
They believe in Satan as a concept. I think it's like there's like a graph of people that, like, if you had a pie chart of all the people that believe in God, right?
Sure. Or the entity
the
of
ones
God.
that think that Satan's a real thing is probably like a quarter of the pie.
And if they read, again, not some weird crazy, but just the plain Jane Bible,
right?
Satan was the #1 angel. He was number 2 in charge. He was the big cheese and said, I want to have everything. And God was like, not gonna happen.
Yeah, but isn't that always like even in the mob? That kind of thing happened.
Number 2 tries harder, doesn't
to kill
he?
number 1.
Yeah.
When they killed Paul Castellano in front of Sparks Steakhouse in New York City.
Is that the shot you have right there in the hall?
No. What do we have
shot
in the
is
hall?
that?
Oh, that's Jack Ruby shooting Lee Harvey Oswald.
That's right. That's it.
That's a different one.
Guys, did you see this UFO video though? If not, check out this video by clicking on the screen, and I'll see you right there. It was a crazy UFO sighting that just occurred. Check it out, and I'll see you there.